Hold on. We're live. Are we live?
We are live.
Is the sound going out?
Sound is going out.
Sound is going out. That's great. Great.
But yes.
Why don't you cut to my camera here? Go to 4. See, I have to tell them sometimes.
I thought it was.
So, hi, welcome. My name is Dean Baker. Welcome to another edition of Modern Day Thrive. Thursday, April 22nd. What number show are we on? 30 something?
I believe it
we hit 40.
I don't think we've hit 40 yet.
All right, we're definitely gonna have to have a big party 50th, Fab 50th show. So okay, so two places to my left, as always, is George Weber. George, nice to have you back again. Had a good week.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty good.
That's great. That's great. And we have a special guest in our studio. I know him as Kenny, but I guess his technical name is C.K. Mulfort.
So, yeah, C.K. is just for the author side, but Kenny is for everybody else.
All right. What's the C? What's the C? Is that
no? It's just me. C. Kenny Mulfort.
C. Kenny Mulfort. All right, that's fine. You didn't have to. You could have just said, "Nah, that's private information. You don't need to know that." So. Okay, well, hey, you're spot checking the sound. Sure. There are times in previous shows, being that we're doing our own switching and our own StreamYarding and controlling so many things, we forget to turn the sound on.
Yeah, I was looking at it because I see here on the screen right there.
Yeah, so and unfortunately, like there's stream. If one thing about StreamYard is, I would love to see an audio. Yeah, some sort of saying, hey, I like to see that there's audio live going out without having to look at the playback, which is a 20-second delay. It would be nice to see a visual representation of audio.
Yeah, I think that's something we can probably suggest to them.
And every time you stream, you use StreamYard as well, don't you?
Yeah, I use StreamYard.
So Kenny, I'll just tell the audience that I met Kenny. What has it been, a year, maybe a year and a half?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah. Over that.
Initially came to me through another mutual friend of ours, and came into the studio looking to do something for a game show, kind of an online streaming game show kind of thing. The matchmaking adult party game, that kind of thing. I'll get to sharing this thing in a second and talk a little bit about that. Well, let's kind of start there. Let me gotta make sure I can share that in. Yeah, we do have to kind of stop once in a while and say, all right, this is what we're doing here. Where the heck is it? Probably right here. All right, so I'm gonna bop that in here. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, that's it right there.
So a matchmaking adult party game that makes dating so much easier. Now, I kind of want to think that we were in the middle of the pandemic when you were saying this.
Yeah, we were,
or were we before the pandemic?
It was before. Then I ended up moving to Atlanta.
Okay.
And then during the pandemic, I moved back to Orlando. We were me and my wife, we were actually getting ready to move up to Atlanta full time.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, yeah, because of the pandemic, I end up coming back, and it's because my job allowed me to work remote. And
Okay.
so and she was still here.
Okay.
And she was going to be moving up to Atlanta this past June, and so we end up because I could work remote, and she liked Orlando way better than Atlanta. We just decided to stay here.
Okay. Well, let's hang on a second. Let's just kind of bounce around, keep us in there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, now having met you, you're into production. So initially we had a lot to talk about, wanting to do maybe talk about producing this. You wanted to do this game show as a stream, live, at a bar or some venue that could handle the amount of people. And what I thought was kind of interesting about it was that you were building it almost as if it was a live in a studio, like The Price is Right. Everything's happening right in front of you. There's a crowd of people, there's contestants. It's not being taped and recorded and played back at another date.
No.
This is live. I love live. I love going live. If you can't tell, this is kind of we created a live studio. Hell, it was a year before the pandemic, which is probably what interested you to come out.
Yeah.
This particular room didn't have.
I think I saw the wrestling thing.
The wrestling thing, right? Yeah. That was our first. We did that like the summer, like August, I think we did that, and we actually couldn't go truly live with it. We pre-recorded the wrestling event, and then what we did was we brought Daniel and one of the wrestling promoter guys. We brought them in here, and they would do like a News Central kind of thing and talk about the next event.
Okay.
So then we would roll in the video. And so we kind of made it like, I don't know. I mean, I go back. So I say Mean Gene Okerlund, the guy who's been, part of the WWF and all that for years. The announcer guy, the guy who would, talk about what's coming up, So that's what we did. We created that. But, I really wanted to see this thing go forward. It was, if anything, it was a challenge.
Yeah. And I mean, now it's even more challenge, but there's,
you need glass.
Well, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there's certain, like, have you ever been to Earl's?
Earl's
Earl's is a restaurant, and I've been there a couple of times, and their setup would be pretty good for what I want to do.
Right.
And the only thing about them as well is that it's a wide, like what they have is like a huge bar, and they have like 8 seats on the side, 8 seats going here, and maybe like 10 around here. So it's large, but it's just being able to get maybe 4 people all the way to the far left side, another 4 all the way here.
Right.
Now, it's just how would I be able to capture that would be the issue. But
doing a face-to-face dating show during a pandemic or even post-pandemic, which we don't really know how the world is going to be acting now, but how we would do that. I mean, my decision here was to make these glass. I call them the spit. The spit guards, and I guess if you're in a dating kind of situation and people kind of get a little
awkward,
the spit guard might be a good thing, it might be a good thing because, I don't know, I've never been spit at on a blind date, but anything could happen. But no, I thought that it really did have potential. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing this thing, and then play out. You don't let go of a good idea. No. If you got a good idea, you got to move forward with it, no matter what.
The good thing, like, so during the pandemic, everybody's inside. We all quarantined and so forth, and I got to play with just online, just instead of, like, I just did it through StreamYard. I'm sorry, through Zoom.
Right.
And I streamed it through StreamYard. So what I did was, just grab their six women across the country, 6 guys across the country,
right,
and then had them play it, and have people watch. And it was the first 2 times I did it, it was a little chaotic because as you mentioned, you have to do all this moving around.
You got
Then
a lot
you have
of
to roll the wheel. You have to then put the questions on there. Then you got to allow the women to be on the screen, take off the guys, and then when the guys turn, do the vice versa. And then when the person is wrong, you eliminate them. You show answers. It was a bunch of stuff, but it worked out. It was pretty good. Yeah. So what I was able to do that. What I did was there's a website called Excite Swift.com.
Okay.
And so what they allow you to do is pretty much people can just text their answers directly to the website and it'll appear on your screen.
Okay.
So
it's kind of instant gratification.
Yeah.
Let people play from home and
Right.
and chime in.
And then what happened is the last two standing, well, the last guy and the last girl, I just gave them a gift card, to whenever stores are open. I gave them both a Chick-fil-A gift card.
All right. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
the girl was from Phoenix, Arizona, and the guy was from Miami. So I don't know if they follow each other and started talking to each other, but
that might have been, if you didn't have budget to fly each other out to Hawaii and send them on a dream date, kind of thing.
On the third time I did it, I had a therapist, this lady who she's a relationship therapist, I guess you want to call it. And the last two, she did like a 10-minute thing with them to see if they're really compatible.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny. Everybody was like, she was asking, she's a funny person too, but she was just asking them questions and, seeing if this is an actual couple that could be made. The girl on this one, she lived in DC and the guy lived in Atlanta.
No kidding.
And so I don't know if I think they probably still communicate. Maybe when everything one day they might meet in person if they haven't, but they both agreed that they were physically attracted to each other. They liked certain things about each other based on what the therapist was asking. But it became really cool that people got to see this game then turned into an actual couple being made through this game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with the help of the therapist to see if they can be compatible. But yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. I kind of jumped ahead a little too quick. I want to get a little background on you.
Yeah.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, I grew up in Miami, Florida.
All right.
Then after high school, I went to University of Florida. I was there for some years, and then right after University of Florida, I went into working at the news station, which was WCJB 20. It was a very low market, of course, in Gainesville.
Huh, okay. Gainesville. Okay.
Yeah, Gainesville.
All right.
Yeah, Gainesville, Florida. So I was there for about 2.5 years. I was the technical director running on the news. We did automation then. So I never worked in a station where they did floor. But anyways, from there I went to go work for NFL Network.
Okay.
Did some graphic I did all their graphic stuff, all their video production. And then if you watch it, when you watch NFL games, you see the first down markers and scores, all that stuff, the tickers. I was doing that as well. But then,
so during live football games, you're working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the NFL.
One thing I noticed over the last few years was how they can put the markers on the field.
Yeah.
Being a technical person, I'm trying to figure out how the hell are they doing that.
Well, we have a 10-second window to do it. So we're looking at the game 10 seconds ahead of you, what people see on TV, of course.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 1st and 10, how there's on the field while people are walking over it.
Yeah.
Oh, they are actually, they're actually like putting those markers on the field from
like
a high angle shot.
Yeah.
So you're actually seeing how are they getting that on the field? I'm thinking, well, probably since the field is green, maybe they're just chroma keying.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
And that way it's not affecting unless maybe Green Bay, they're green. Anybody with green outfits would
so when you
would actually kind of get keyed out as well, and I've never noticed that.
Yeah, so. That's never happened, but they do key out the grass so that you do if the players walk over it, they do get caught into it. You can see a little bit of it,
right?
But for the most part, if the first down marker is first down marker is usually a behind everybody,
Right.
so they technically don't have to worry unless where you have, if it's like a first in inches or something like that, or fourth in inches, you then can see all the distortion, the noise and distortion there.
Right.
They've gotten better with it. When I watch games now, I see where they light. I mean, they darken the whole 10 yards.
Right.
And then the rest of the field is light. I'm like, wow, they changed
They
up the
got
entire
it.
thing.
I mean, things like in sports in general, NASCAR, there was a time when all of a sudden now they have graphics that follow the car that actually have pointer graphics that you can tell who it is, but the graphic moves and follows the pattern of the car.
Yeah, see that.
And I'm going, okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now I also think about hockey. You've watched hockey. Remember when they have the puck and they could track the puck,
could highlight it.
Yeah, and they could actually do that. And I think, what do they have? A GPS responder in the puck?
I have no idea.
Something like that. I mean, I remember certain things, much like I can go back to a certain Winter Olympics when they had the cable cams following skiers down the slopes.
Yeah.
And I mean, really just huge, massive technological breakthroughs to cover sports like
I don't know if you've seen the new I know they do it in football and I think baseball. They have this camera. I don't know what it is. It's almost look like 30K or something, but it makes the players look like they're in a video game.
Really?
It's just so, and I'll show you guys later. But if you look up this new cam, whenever the players score a touchdown, that's the only time they use the camera, or whenever someone's celebrated,
because they can only afford to have one of those cameras. I'm sure.
Exactly. But I don't know what it is, but it's crazy.
Well, I remember when that story of the first time they did high definition NFL, and the cameras were so good. I think it was a female on the field, and she didn't. The makeup wasn't right, and they had to actually change how they do makeup for the on camera people because she looked so bad. It's like, get her out the air, get her out the air, get her out the air.
Actually,
I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is, but it was very similar to that story. Very similar part of that story actually happened. And it was like the first HD broadcast of football, and it was football, and they said, "Oh, that doesn't look good. Get her out the air."
I was working with them when they did the transition. This is 2007. They mostly everybody went to HD in 2007, but we did the transition. It was like it was major. So many people hands were involved. Just getting ready for that first game. And that first game, for NFL Network was, I know Minnesota was playing. I don't know. I think they were playing Vikings were playing Packers, but that might have been the first game they did the NFL, not Fox or anybody else, but NFL Network, that they did the HD.
Right.
And so
I'm wondering when they did that, how many, if there's ever a YouTube video that would have shown how bad people looked in HD, back then. If somebody could make a YouTube video, maybe someone did. I don't know, but I would have thought that would have presented itself over the last dozen years or so. But
you're right.
So sports is fun. Sports is fun, and you don't have to be a fan of sports to enjoy filming sports. I mean, there's just so much. I remember even in the early days of just being a filmmaker, I remember shooting a high school tournament here in Florida, in Kissimmee. And this is back in the 90s. And it was two high school teams from across, East versus West. And who was one of the star players was Jason Kidd.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he became a superstar ball player, and he was a superstar in high school. Man. He was throwing up half court, tie the game shots in a championship game. In fact, I believe he got MVP of that one particular tournament. And here he is, a senior, as 17, 18-year-old kid, and you didn't know. Of course, you kind of go, oh, he's going to be big. He's going to be big
Mhm.
time. And of course, he was big time. So
Big
I actually
time.
got to see him play in high school.
Wow.
You don't
Yeah.
get to really, see that kind of stuff.
See 'em before they are.
It'd be a treat, and to have him perform like that in a high school tournament was just
Yeah.
incredible. So,
Yeah.
I filmed football and basketball, but not at like NFL,
Yeah, and
that kind of level. So,
and it was I was inside the studio. I've always wanted to go out to the games.
Yeah.
I went to in college. I did 2 games, and I did that for Fox Sports. But when I actually worked for the NFL Network, I was in a master control environment.
Yeah.
And it,
Grass Valley switcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Big 4 or 8 foot switcher right in front of you, hitting
And
buttons
so
like crazy. Yeah.
They're like, hey, on game day, they say, hey, can you, we need the marker. We do instant replays. We do rollbacks. It gets kind of tedious, but off when there's no game days, I'm just working on highlights and working on maybe a documentary that they're trying to do. And then one day I'm out in Atlanta and I meet this lady. We were just having a good time, and then she tells me that she is in film too, and she tells me she's the production coordinator for The Walking Dead.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And so then I'm like, oh, I would love to do, like, I'm trying to be a writer. I want to be a writer. And then she was like, well, I can get you on as a production assistant, and then you can, try to get into talk to someone to be a writer assistant. And so I was like, yeah. So then I called.
All right. So when you met this person, what season were they in?
They were season 2.
Oh, so it was when everyone's going, this is good, and then by season 2 you're going, oh yeah, this is gonna be,
yeah.
this
And
is gonna be good.
and this funny thing, I had
10
only
seasons later, geez.
I had only watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes up to that point, and then so I go there the next day, just took a day off, and then went there, and I met everybody, and I was working with her. I mean, I was just walking with her, and then they gave me a job as a PA, but I was working as well with some of the writers. So I was like, oh man, this is it. I'm just gonna write an episode about Walking Dead, which I had never watched. Really.
Yeah.
So I started watching it and then trying to write a specs script, but
didn't quite work out.
Yeah. So I wrote it, but I just never got to really show anybody anything. And so I worked with them for about 3 months, and then that production company got fired.
Oh wow.
Oh
yeah. So after
you got fired by association then.
Yeah. So I was like, I quit my job at the NFL Network in Atlanta, and so then because I was working with them, I was making good money with them too, but they quit. They got fired, and they went to go do this. They went to go film this reality show called Chrisley Knows Best.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Chrisley? Yeah, Chrisley Knows Best is in filmed in Atlanta as well. So that production company went there, and I was like, not only did I lose a lot of money, it was boring. It was nothing. So I ended up moving back to Orlando.
Yeah,
and working. I moved back to work for Channel 13 as a news director.
Yeah.
So that's what brought me back to Orlando.
So now CFN 13.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They I know a lot of the reporters were actually their own camera person.
Yeah.
So did you report? Did you?
No. I was just a technical director.
TD.
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, since you pre-taped did you just tape the news?
Yeah. So we did. So their TD is actually their news director as well. It's just
okay.
So I say news director because some people think the news director is the person who oversees the entire
news department.
News department as well.
I come from news too.
Yeah.
So
okay. So there, I always tell them I was not the person who oversees. I was the person who ran the live cast. So yeah, they do 80% pre-records.
Yeah.
And then the first 2 minutes are live.
Yeah.
And then of course the weather is live. And they're 24 hours.
Well, you can't pre-record the weather.
Exactly.
Really silly about it.
Yeah.
And it's raining outside.
No, it's not.
Right. It's hard enough doing it minute to minute.
They're always wrong.
No, it's not raining out. Well, it's raining over there and not over there and over there. Weather is so much fun in Florida.
But I just it was pretty cool working there, and they just like you said, the reporters there, they ran them They ran them to the ground, man.
Glenn Victor was a guy who worked there for a short time. I'm not sure if that
Glenn
role
Victor?
there. Yeah,
As
he wound up doing traffic on Channel 6, and then of course he worked for the Safety Council for a
no.
bunch of years, and I've known him forever. But I've been trying to get him on the show. But,
Yeah.
The
you know.
only when I was there though, like the names I remember is Jackie Brockington,
Yeah.
Marla Weech.
Oh, Marla, yeah,
Tom-
yeah.
I know that name.
She's a big name. Right?
Yeah, Yvette Boussois, the weather guy. It was a weather guy. He was hilarious. And I know if I said his name, you would not. I just don't remember his name. It's, not Tom Terry, but
Is it Jorge's? I can't. I know there's somebody at 13 or was at 13 the last couple of years. I can't think of his name. Jorge. Man, I can't think of his last name.
No.
But I don't even really see up in 13, so I don't. I haven't really watched it.
That's the thing
forever.
about it. Yeah. I feel, if you don't have, that's the thing. If you don't have cable, like especially Spectrum, you're not going to see them. So, but they were, but then like I started doing my own thing, so I ended up leaving them.
Yeah. Well, I guess that takes us pretty much. We've talked about your past and we're here at the present and future, and so Kenny, you told me you wrote a book.
Yeah.
And I kind of, really, right off the bat interests me because, it's like, is there anything you aren't doing?
Yeah.
Have you performed any,
Surgeries.
brain surgeries or anything like that? So what's the name of your book?
It's called The Other Side of a Mirror. It's called The Other Side. It's
yeah, go ahead.
It's loosely based on a true story too, man. Funny thing is, when the woman told me about her story, this is in 2015. I was like, oh, I want to write a book. I've never written a book. I've written screenplays.
Okay.
So I wanted to challenge myself. So I actually started writing this book in 2015.
Okay.
It was just that I put it off and kept putting it off. I changed the story up like maybe 3-4 times.
Yeah, some rewrites.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then during the pandemic, I was like, let me just finish this book. That's what I'm going to do. And so from like March to about October, I was able to finish it. Finally. But yeah, it was, like I said, really based on a true story about this woman who was a psychologist who kind of lost her mind. She couldn't tell the difference between her life and one of her patient's life.
Okay.
And they call it, she told me it's called counter transference.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
And so you try to sympathize so much with them that you start believing whatever they're going through, you're going through it too. And
okay.
So that's what this book is about. Yeah. So
okay.
So I tell people that it's like a mixture of 50 Shades and Gone Girl mixed up.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I noticed from the back. I read it earlier. I noticed that there's a disappearance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then obviously there's some mystery going around that disappearance. Do you consider this like a science fiction or?
No, I consider it a psychological thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes in the same if you watch movies like The Secret Window.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Secret Window. Even Fight Club.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Fight Club. Yeah. That's definitely psychological.
Yeah.
When you're writing, and I've written some scripts, mostly for TV and film, nothing that's been, whatever. But when you write, do you write with a face?
Oh, yeah.
Did you put some face to your leading lady here?
Mm-hmm. I have to find someone either I know directly or I've seen on TV or
someone how they can. So
yeah.
Who is your?
There's this a friend of mine. Well, I use partially the real lady, but then one of my good friends, her old roommate is who I use. She's exactly the person in this book.
Right.
So her old roommate was just like she had she was free spirited.
Yeah.
Very free spirited. Like she do what
they
she
usually
do,
they usually kind of confuse that with pain in the ass. No, I'm just no free spirit. I mean, yeah. So, So you found somebody with mannerisms that that related to you in a certain way, and you just kind of put them through the motions.
Yep. I found for every character I had, I was like, oh, all right, this reminds me of this person.
Are you in this book?
No.
Is your wife?
No, she's not in it.
No. I'm sure she would have let you have it.
She would be like, no, what are you doing? She would have definitely.
And then some wonderful woman came in and fixed everything. That was okay. No. So, wow.
Yeah.
So it took you said a few months?
Yeah, it took me a few months, and
then you had to publish it.
Yeah, so once I published it, so like once I was done in October,
yeah,
I found 2 editors. I had one go through it. She did it in a month, and then that after she gave me that one, I sent that same that edition to another editor, and she went through she went through the revision as well. And once they both were done, I went ahead and launched, and like maybe I launched it on my birthday.
Okay,
so
nice.
Yeah, so one editor had it for the month of October, the other one had it in the month of November, and then I launched it on December 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do another screen share here. I got to remove and reshare. That's the fun thing about doing this by yourself. Then all right, Chrome tab. Nope. Window. No, where is it? Oh no, it's the wrong one. All right, never mind. I got to do it over here. Stop screen, share screen. Chrome tab. Amazon. Sorry for the delay, folks. Okay, so now we're sharing this. Now this is the Amazon page. I see you got 5 stars. All right, 24 ratings.
Oh, 24 now. Oh, cool. I was at 21.
So let's see what some of the ratings are. Good read. We're just going to read the good ones, okay?
Yeah.
But you don't get 5 stars if
Generally,
people are going piece of crap, but don't ever want to waste it. No, you get some good stuff here.
And I sent it to a bunch of book reviewers out there, and like everybody who reviewed the book 50 Shades or Gone Girl or The Girl on the Train.
No kidding.
I just sent the book to them.
Okay.
Like a free copy of it?
Yeah, just a free copy of it. So if they do a book review of it, hopefully they're fans and their people.
So you got 4 out of 5 says good read. Nice. That was January 2nd.
Where are you looking right now?
Right here up top, toward the top. Oh, let me see if I can pull that up full screen. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me see if I can pull that up full screen. That didn't do much, but so right at the top, it does say, it just says Amazon customer, good read, right up here, 4 out of 5 stars, January 2nd. And then December 27th, you got a just wow. Was that your mom?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, right. My mom wouldn't.
I remember I couldn't get my mom to even watch anything I ever did and put out there. So,
yeah, exactly. My mom don't even know I wrote a book.
So we have a Tina Cox here, March 21st, 2021.
Yeah, I don't think it's scrolling for us, but if
Yeah, I'm not seeing what he's looking at.
5 out of 5 stars. It is. Oh, right.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. What's going on here? I might have to stop. I'm going to stop and reshare. Hold that thought, please. Let's see if I can do it again. I want to get this up here right. Share screen, Chrome tab. Got 2, so let's just say.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So there's the good read, the first one. Just wow. Tina Cox on March 21st. So that's very recently.
Oh yeah. So
not a lot.
Do you know her? Do you know Tina?
No, I don't know Tina.
Great. It's good to not know people. And here's somebody called Pavi.
Oh, I know Pavi.
You know Pavi?
Yeah.
Wow, Journey of Love and Lust. Okay. And that was December. January 9th, you got a Curiosity. 5 stars. Nice. Must read. Wow. Must read now. Excuse my bad reading skills here. It's small. Could not put the book down. So you are getting some great responses.
Yeah, so a lot of them are just people. They may be people like I sent the book out to,
Right.
and one of them, she has like 12,000 followers between YouTube and all her social media.
Right.
And a lot of people look for her book recommendations, and she did it. And so she really put me over the top with sales.
Nice.
Okay.
So,
yeah, you told me you had an interesting way of marketing it and getting some. You asked all your friends to, for your birthday and something about that.
Yeah, I did that
Tell
as
us
well.
that.
So for my birthday, I told everybody to buy my book or just repost this.
Repost it.
Yeah, and I had like 108 shares of that.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
so now maybe someone bought the book and they shared it too. So and so from the month of December to the month of like February, I
Right.
sold around like 579 books. And then once the other post was made, so in total from now up to date, I probably sold just under 1,100 books.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's got to be doing all right for you.
And that my goal was to try to sell 2,500 book in a span of 12 months. So I just need to do more marketing and get it out there. So
okay. So $12.99 is Prime really holding you up? Are they?
yeah. Well, it's
are they
fine.
getting gangster on you?
No, not yet. I mean, well, for everything they do, I like $12.99. I end up getting them back around maybe $6 and some.
So it's close to a 50-50.
Right, exactly.
And they still, if you're Prime, looks like you might get free shipping. So I mean, they're eating it somewhere. But no, that's not bad. How do you feel about the printing on the quality of the print and all that?
So I have gloss and I have matte.
Yeah.
This is the only gloss that I have now. Matte is much better.
I noticed when I was kind of thumbing through the book that the pages weren't really crisp cut.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it wasn't. Obviously when you go to a Borders Books or something like that, you get some off the shelf. It's. But I did notice it wasn't just as crisp.
That's the other one. And this one is and this one also it could be also this book I've had since December.
So it might just be a little beaten up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been going around with this book. And
that's your travel book. Okay.
I use the gloss one because the matte one is it can get really dirty easily. You can see fingerprints.
Okay.
But as far as the quality of printout, it's much better than this.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the matte.
Let me stop sharing. Well, this sounds like a great thing. Now, the experience of printing self-publishing through Amazon, rate it 1 to 10. 10 being awesome, 1 being never again.
I would say about a 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay, so they barely passed. Okay,
Yeah.
no, I mean they got a C.
I can give it. I actually say it's for. Especially if you're not putting it, if you don't have the funds. If you have funds, then it's a different story. But for you if you look into it, like let's say for example, you go the big box route, you pay someone $8,000, then they probably print out a certain amount of books. You're still gonna make. You're not gonna make too much money off of it that way either.
Okay.
The only thing that
costs that probably.
Yeah, the only thing that they do for you is get you more sales.
Yeah.
So
get it in some displays.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're getting more $5 bills with them, whereas with Amazon, you're only getting like the $6.87, maybe once every something. But also Amazon allows you to print your own books. And if you print your own books and you want to sell it yourself, it's only like $3.
Okay. Have you seeked out being able to print your own books?
Yeah. I print my own books. I printed out like maybe 100 copies.
Okay.
So 100
just to be able to kind of
to hand out somewhere or go somewhere or sell on my own website. Yeah. So I can buy 100 book around at $3.12. And that's all they charge you. And so the three. So again,
that's
100.
Not bad actually.
Not
$3 a book, and you got to pay. So you pay to ship 100 books or 300 books.
So then you look at it. So this is how I look at it. If I did, it's $3.12 a book for me to ship it is about like $2.87.
Yeah.
So I'm almost at like $6.
You're almost there anyway,
Yeah, I'm
right?
almost there
So
anyway,
you're
yeah.
just going through all the steps to do
Yeah,
it yourself.
exactly.
To
Placing it
have
somewhere
them
else.
do it.
Yeah. And so, but I did order 300 books. The 100 books, and then paid whatever the 340, and then I sell them directly from my website as well. So if I want to, let's say again they buy it directly from me for $12.99, and then I do the shipping. I'm right back to what I would have made if I was left it on Amazon.
Well, having 300 books, did you ever think about going to a private owned bookstore and doing
So I've done virtuals.
Yeah.
So a couple of bookstores have done virtual book signings, like book tours, and I've been part of them. I have the book in a couple of stores, like coffee shops.
Right.
I have them in several actually. Every coffee shop there is really not named Starbucks or Dunkin' Donut in Atlanta. I'm pretty much the books is there. And then also a couple of adult stores as well in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so here as well.
I know them all. Which one? No,
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah,
it's
the one on Main Street. No,
they're pretty easy. So that's the thing about self-publishing. Like it doesn't take a lot for you to get into a lot of stores.
Right.
But the only thing about self-publishing versus publishing,
the hustle,
is the marketing.
That's hustling it. It's you got to be out there selling it constantly, and having just basically just ask your friends to repost it, and all of a sudden you in 3-4 months you've triggered 1,100 sales.
Yeah,
there are people out there probably that wouldn't have mind having that many sales when when one of the big publishing companies that banked on somebody and they were kind of let down, and so 1,100 is respectable considering nobody's out there marketing you really.
And so
you're kind of invisible in Amazon. How do you rate as far as searching? Have you ever tried to find yourself do a raw search?
Right. And I don't know if you guys know how Amazon algorithm works. It's like if you continue to buy, it shows up at the top. Like right now, if you go to Amazon and you just search the book, you probably have to go through 3 pages because not a lot of people have been buying within the last week or two.
Well, I actually had to type in your title, and you weren't like the top of that title.
Exactly.
I can probably back out of that,
and that's how it works. But originally, when I was hot between like December, February, I was at the very top, and so. And then,
Bob Dylan's got a book called The Other Side of the Mirror.
Of the Mirror, correct.
Yes. So, you can't, how do you compete with Bob Dylan? You just, and then there's another Stevie Nicks, another one, Other Side of the Mirror, the other, all right, it's the same thing, just, And then, of course, hey, you're in good company, Bob Dylan, Stevie Nicks, and Kenny.
Yep.
All right.
I'm third?
That's great. You are third right now.
Oh, wow.
That's when I searched The Other Side of the Mirror.
Yeah.
You came up third.
Oh, that's good. That's
good. You 3 Bob Dylan posts. 3 Bob Dylan got 3, and then Stevie Nicks got 1. So
that would mean that a couple of people. I recently did a YouTube ad on Tuesday.
Right.
And YouTube, I'm not sure if you guys used it, but YouTube ad is much better than any others that I've seen.
You can,
I like the traffic, the amount of, how people can watch a video and they have to wait the 5 seconds to say skip ad. If you make it engaging, if you engage it enough, people will actually watch through it, and it shows you all of that. And just in the span of from Tuesday to last time I checked this morning, I was at 12,000 views. For the video, and that's just the people who watch it. Then, as far as the people who don't skip it, I'm at like 8,000.
Wow,
so it's only like it's a 39-second video.
So, what do you pay for an advertisement to get those kind of results?
Yeah, so with that in total, right now I'm at like $42.
Oh,
yeah. So
that's surprisingly less than I. Well, it's not I'm not surprised you spent 42. I am surprised at the response you got. Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and so maybe by the end of the campaign, it'd probably be around like $100 or something, $108. It said.
Wow.
Yeah,
But you're getting response and results.
I'm getting response.
and-
So the fact that it's at the third right now, meaning some people have bought it. Maybe I don't know how many, but a few people have bought it. I won't know.
you might have a check at home in the mailbox.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
it takes you
all
get your
digital
money.
now, so,
yeah,
yeah.
you get your money
On hand.
from you get your money like maybe a month later. And
Wow.
you know, yeah, it takes about a month for you to get some money. But I don't know how many people bought the book until it's actually shipped out. So and printed. So I can take a look, but I'm trying to see if there's any reports about it.
No, maybe yes.
Oh yeah. I've sold 6 ebooks.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So 6 ebooks. So
Nice. So that's I mean.
So you offer different ways, not just the hardback. You
Yeah.
can get an ebook. That's a good
Yeah,
idea. That way you get some options.
Amazon, they actually almost pressure you to twist your arms to do ebooks.
Well, the reason they want that is because it puts those impressions out there. And it pushes more people to Amazon. Because even though they're putting your book, it still is Amazon.com.
And it gives them people to market to.
Yeah,
for other. If you like this title,
they're not dumb.
Wouldn't you love? But use that in your benefit too. So if you're, is there a time limit with self-publishing on Amazon? Do you have to? Is it as long as you want to keep it there?
Yeah, as long as you want to keep it there.
Yeah.
But they have this thing called KDP Select. That's for your ebook, and within there, that's where they do a lot of marketing for you.
Right.
I think that's about a 3-month that you can be in there.
No kidding.
Yeah, and so with their ebook, it's like some ebooks are like $5.99, some are free.
Sure.
So the way they work it is like. And I really don't understand how the KDP Select works. It could be free today,
right.
And the next day is
teasers.
Well, I'm noticing on this Amazon it says Kindle $0.
That's what it's saying right now.
Yeah,
See? Exactly. So
that means that I don't know what
they
that
just
means.
it's $0, and then I guess for like he said a teaser, but then the next day it'll say $5.99.
Right. And it says or $5.99 to buy. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Free with Kindle unlimited membership. So you're being part of a promotion, I guess. If somebody gets their unlimited Kindle, you buy a Kindle and you can watch.
That's how it works.
Yeah. If it's $0, it'd probably be you maybe own the first page for a bit of time.
Okay.
And then maybe move to a genre at that point.
Yeah.
Depending on what the category is. Have you ever thought about creating an audiobook out of it?
Oh, that's what. Matter of fact, the girl who just came in here, that's what we're gonna do. She's actually doing my audio. She's a very good. She has a really great voice, and so she's recording my audiobook.
Nice.
And
that
just
gives you another avenue to make money.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna ask. Are you thinking about a movie with this book?
That's what I want to do.
Yeah,
that's the biggest. And I'll tell you this. The only reason I wrote this book is so I can make a movie off of it.
Right.
And that's the only reason.
So all right. So I got to ask now, I was hoping to get there when I asked you, is there a face to this book?
Yeah.
Now, is there a face to this movie?
Yeah. So there's
who do you want?
There's 2 characters. So like, I know Zoe Kravitz is one person.
Okay.
I definitely would want. Zoe Kravitz would play one of the main characters. As far as the other one, I'm not sure yet. But I know I definitely want Zoe Kravitz to be in it. And I think about.
Well, let's get her on the phone.
Yeah,
right.
If you can do it, like,
right.
Say, hold on, wait a minute. Let me call Zoe for you.
Yeah, let's get Zoe on the phone. Hey, Zoe, if you're out there watching,
yeah.
I
tagged her.
Oh, you did.
I tagged her. And
absolutely.
I sent her so many messages. Well, not so many messages.
Stop her.
Now he has
Careful.
I sent her a couple of messages on the Instagram, but I want to find someone out there, and that's why I want to start maybe working on this later in 2022, early 2023. Because I don't want her to get to the point where, she's super big, or she decides.
Damn, not Kenny again. He keeps emailing me and sending me free books.
As far as the other characters, I'm not even sure. I don't even know.
Come on, throw somebody out there.
Yeah, I don't even know anybody else. I just know she's the only person.
How about the husband who disappears?
See, the husband that disappears,
he's in and gone. So you could go reach for the stars, and then it'd be like Tom Cruise. And
it could
done.
It could be George.
He's out in 3 minutes.
Right?
Almost no screen time. It's almost like a picture.
Yeah.
See this, and then you just go. They do that once in a while. They bring in a really big name and then they kill them off in 2 seconds.
Here's your $1 million.
Yeah. People are doing that.
Nah, that would be crazy. But I don't know. This character, the guy who gets missing is only on screen. He would only be there for maybe 1 scene, 2 scenes.
All right, I'll do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Stop twisting my arm.
We can have you do it. Exactly.
Of course, I'll have to pose with Zoe a little bit here and there. We'll have to. Have to have some background so when she looks longingly at our picture together,
yeah. So exactly.
But
that one day. So definitely trying to get this book to be pretty.
You want to direct it?
No, I want to write it though.
Well, you obviously write the screenplay and all that. But so who do you want to direct it?
I don't know a lot of directors' name, but whoever directed. Who did
we'll find out.
Who did Ocean 8?
Ocean's 8?
Yeah.
Ooh. That is I know this, but I'm gonna look it up. Ocean's 8.
Yeah, Ocean's 8.
That's the woman. That's the one with all the women in it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Gary Ross.
Okay.
I don't know that name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ocean's 11 now. Steven Soderbergh, I think. Yeah, Steven Soderbergh. Yeah.
Okay, so
and I really like his work because he's sharp and he's fast and he's smart and he's
I liked some of the stuff that was done in Ocean's 8, and him being able to work with a bunch of women like that as well. Not that it really mattered, but that was
I'm surprised with pretty much a mostly female cast. They didn't go with a female director.
Me too.
In this time,
that's what I was thinking too.
Girl power. And I'm all about there's a lot of good movies. But I'm really surprised they didn't.
And then also
that route.
Yeah.
Let's see who directed. Big Little Lies is a series, but okay, it's a bunch of them. So, but one of them, Big Little Lies. Though I don't know.
Usually, it's a producer that that kind of a named director becomes a producer, and then they bring in they groom other directors and whatnot. But I haven't seen that series. I gotta tell you, one of my favorite, and I'm rewatching it for like the 4th time, is a series on HBO, and it's called The Newsroom. And if you're in news, Aaron Sorkin, oh my God, it's news porn. I mean, it is. If you're a writer or if you're just want to absorb really great storytelling, I'm in it again. I just can't stop watching the series. It's just it's great.
Yeah, that's one of the scripts I study as well.
Yeah, it's a terrific. All Aaron Sorkin's, he likes to do a lot of political, a lot of politics, a lot of social issues, stuff like that, and he's a great writer. So the movies, we'll expect the movie out in about a year.
Yeah.
Once you get, once you get Zoe on the hook, then it should be downhill from there.
Just get Zoe, and she says she wants to do it. She'll get everybody else involved.
So, what else you got? I mean, what's on your plate other than the dating show?
No,
if you can get Zoe on the dating show,
yeah. Other than that, just. I'm finishing up on this 8 episodes series that I just got funded for, and so we'll be hopefully we'll start filming. My hope is within the next few weeks.
Is there a working title?
As far as
this 8 series.
yeah, it's called Honey Lemon.
Honey Lemon.
Honey Lemon, yeah.
Okay.
It's about a woman. It's pretty much the spot like what's the name again? It's like the female version of Dexter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm finishing up on the as far as the writing. And yeah, we like I said, we got a couple of good funds from some small investors here in Orlando, and we'll see how far we can take it.
Wow. All right. Yeah. See, it doesn't take. He posts. I saw you did a post like a month or 2 months ago.
What the girl
You
got
were-
hit in the head.
I don't know. I think it was a post. You're actually seeking some help on a project.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
And I responded. He never responded back.
You sure?
Yeah.
I respond. I did.
It was it was through Facebook, but
through Facebook. Oh, okay.
So he never responded. He didn't need
no.
help,
The thing is, no,
he's way up here. And
no. Well, the problem was at the time. At that time, I was trying to do it myself, and then next, I got someone from that post put me in touch with someone else. And
right.
Next, I got funded. Then I was like, okay, now let me sit back and let me actually finish the script.
Right.
And so I'm like, hopefully this week I can finish all 8 episodes. I'm at episode 7 right now, and so yeah. And then I don't know if you're familiar with the guy that actually Ron works with him. One of the directors.
Wes.
Yeah. Definitely want to see if he can get involved. And so
yeah. I've met Wes, and I know him and Ron. Ron is DP, great DP in Central Florida, and I know the two of them have been working on a project in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've tried to help them out on some things, but
here in
Orlando when they were waiting to go to Mississippi, they needed some space in Orlando. I'm not sure if they ever kind of went through that route,
and I don't even know like what it's gonna look like. So I'm just if he's able to jump on board and do something, that'd be cool. If not, I have some people coming up who are going to be involved. Like the investor who's involved has summoned her little crew from they're like out of Savannah, Georgia or somewhere.
Okay.
Some part of Georgia.
So over the line somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm nothing wrong with Wes. He's a great guy, but he's chasing things across the line. I would love to see more projects being filmed
in Orlando,
being produced, being in Central Florota.
Yeah,
I agree. I would love to. I know we don't have tax incentives, which is a big thing. But here's how tax incentives works. We did have tax incentives about 6-7 years ago. Florida actually put some money aside, and it was like a few $100 million. Because they had to take money out of a budget and put it towards filmmakers, wanting to attract film companies to come into Florida so the incentives basically we pay for. The money just doesn't come out of thin air. We actually, as taxpayers, we pay our taxes. Part of our taxes go towards the film producers to seed them to come back. So it's kind of like a back pocket deal. I'm going to give you 10, 20%. And as long as you bring it to me, it's like, hanging out in front of a couple of restaurants and just saying, look, I'll give you $20 if you go to that restaurant over there. And that's all it is. So the last time I was reading this, and it was right around 2014, 2015, something like that, that the tax incentives were absorbed by like 3 films, and they all went to Miami. Something like that. I mean, it was really, The Rock got some money, and some really big projects got it, and then it was like all gone. So it really went towards, all that money back just went towards just a very small projects from big Hollywood filmmakers. And that's the way it has to be. They're all in Atlanta doing, for the last few years have been doing all the Marvel movies and things like that. And of course, because Atlanta just seeded it, they took a bunch of money, handed it to, and of course the money that they spend, that the film companies spend in Atlanta, goes toward the people of Atlanta. You hope. And not just, they're just spending lots of money on their own
food
animal
and dining and stuff like that.
If Disney, that owns Marvel, that owns this huge production facility in Atlanta, if they have a way to just kind of refund their own animal, which means I'm going to spend money at my own theme park. I'm going to go get money and I'm going to bring projects and do all this. Then, man, I just, this whole tax incentive is, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people saying that the taxpayers never get the money back. They don't get the money back. The money somehow comes in, changes hands, and then everyone's scratching their heads going, what happened? And why don't we have any more? And so now what I'm seeing is that Georgia, the governor of Georgia, has been in the limelight. He did signed a bill or something like that. He's not real popular right now. Okay. And filmmakers, I believe Antoine Fuqua and Denzel Washington have pulled, or was it Will Smith?
Will Smith was another one.
Pulled their films, their current film out of Georgia because of politics.
Oh man.
Because so here's the thing, and it was kind of anti-Hispanic, anti-Black, so obviously I don't believe the governor of Georgia is Black or Hispanic. So he signed something that made him look really bad. And of course, money is flying out of the state.
Because of film,
because of bad politics. People are, I think it was Will Smith and Antoine Fuqua, they were in a project together, and they said, based on his politics, we can't in kind support this our film being shot in this state because of bad politics, signing a bad deal for people that
I didn't know about that.
So that's what, and I'm like, well, I'm thinking a few steps beyond that. I'm like, well, all right, so if this is a social issue, here's a company that loves to be on one side of a social issue, and that's the Walt Disney World Company. Okay, they don't want to be on the wrong side of a social issue. So if it's minorities, Disney's going to take a hard look at whether or not they want to stay in Atlanta. And if Disney pulls out of Atlanta,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. You be looking elsewhere. What's the next state? Are we back to Louisiana?
Yeah.
Are we Alabama? Are we, where else can we create? So if political, if the politics in some of these states are being so narrow-minded, and people are going to say, hey, enough is enough. If you're going to act this way, we're going to take our toys and go elsewhere. So I'm worried for Atlanta. But I'm also thinking that the tax incentive thing there's got to be a better way so that states aren't overlooked. And Florida used to be, and we have sound stages. We have 2 theme parks with probably 8 or 9 extra sound stages that aren't doing any, that pretty much are parking spaces for parades and theme parks. We have back lots, and we have, between Universal and Disney, there's still a lot of usable space here.
Full Sail have it too?
Well, yeah, Full Sail's a school though. They can't really be in the business of, movie making.
Rented their stuff out for that though.
Yeah, but that's
a
whole nother thing. That's just a whole nother thing. It gets messy.
Smaller key.
I don't want anybody watching from Full Sail to get pissed at me, because they're a great thing. They're a great place. They do wonderful work, and they do lots of things for their students that no other school does. And but they're not really that kind of animal. And one might argue Universal and Disney, they're in the process of selling theme park tickets and churros and whatnot, and that's great. I can say things about them, and they're not going to really, they're not going to be too upset with me. But I'm just saying that Disney probably isn't going to be on the wrong side of a social issue,
right?
Without taking steps, which means you don't, if your state's, goes against the politics of the people bringing lots of money into your state. Be careful, be careful. So I fear for Georgia. There are cousins, there are neighbors, there are, a lot of people have, but Georgia was all Ted Turner up until, Walking Dead and Disney and Marvel and all that. And it was all the Turner Broadcasting and so many things that kind of got them on the map, and I, but they're not going away. But I just I'm worried that too much politics and social media and everything's getting really scary. But if that brings more productions in Florida, that's where I was, I mean, if someone said, yeah, we get 10% back if we spend our $5 million film, I'll get 10% back. And I'm like, well, if you shot here in Florida, I'll find a way to save you 20%. We can shoot it cheaper here. Cheaper than definitely LA, cheaper than New York, cheaper than going up to Montreal or Chicago and maybe even Atlanta. I don't know, because once Disney shows up, people are going to go, oh, we can charge more now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea. But, in Florida, we've made a habit of being able to do things, and we have 365 days a year of just about great weather. Maybe a little warm, but great.
Yeah.
And I would, if I had a film financed tomorrow, it would be shot here. It would be shot here. I don't care about a tax incentive. Maybe I'd change my, after the first deal, but
Yeah, and that's why I want to film this here.
Yeah. And I would support that in any way I could, and just let's get it done here. And in fact, I would think that I would try and find a tax incentive through county and city governments, and say, look, I'm going to go to a city council and say, look, I really want to bring my film here, and it's going to eat up the town for a couple months, but here's what this will do, without saying, ooh, I'm going to put you on the map, or ooh, you're going to get all this. But no, I'm bringing production, spending money, and we're using local Central Florida talent, crew, cast, maybe not the leads, but there's a lot of people in a film that we can, a lot of PAs.
Sure. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah. So I've heard that people will actually approach a city or county, government, and see what they can do about, getting, maybe, you're a little more active with permitting and this, that, and the other, and they go, ooh, you're doing this, and then you start thinking about, well, I'm not spending $200 million here, but
I could have a local budget.
But maybe there's some, some leeway there.
Right.
But anyway, so that's I guess that's my little rant for the evening. So Kenny, it's been just terrific. Anything more you want to add to your?
No, I mean, thank y'all for having me. Again, just check out the book and then
absolutely hold it up again. The other side of the mirror.
The other side, you can go to
of a mirror. Sorry, that's the Bob Dylan thing.
Yeah,
the other side of a mirror.
You can just go to www.ck
Amazon,
or you can go to Amazon and you can look it up. ckmulfort.com. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's go out and,
on the Facebook page, and then people see it. Maybe they can go to it.
All right, cool.
So go back into the stream and just kind of add a whatever.
Whatever you want. Put a graphic.
And so it's great having you here.
Thank you. I had a good time.
And switch to me. He sleeps sometimes, and he's running the switcher.
Yeah, I'm looking at him, so I'm assuming I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
I got you. Look down. You can, So anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. It's been a hoot. It's been fun. I hope everyone enjoyed this, and I think that's about it. Next week, I gotta do this. Thrive Live next week. Open house. So all you locals want to come out, network market. I want to see all my friendly filmmakers out here, actors, bring headshots, do whatever. Come on out. We're gonna have food trucks. We're gonna we're gonna preview our new studio sets that we've been diligently building, and I'd love to have a bunch of people out here just so I can shake some hands. We're going to be going live right from the parking lot. And that's all I got tonight. So thank you all for joining us. I will see you on the flip side, and I'll find the graphics so we can get out. And we're out.